everyone, and today I wanted to talk about resentment and anger. So on this platform, I focus mostly on faith and spirituality and of course mindset, but we also need to address the emotional shadows of the feelings that we have. And sometimes these shadows are manifesting illnesses and chronic diseases. But before we continue, I would like to share that I have just launched an ebook called Healing Within. And I just felt called for a very long time to write this empowering guide of self-healing and self-love. And I know in my heart it will help so many of you that are just starting your spiritual journey. So for anyone that is interested, I will leave the link below. And okay, so from one book to another book. So I've been also reading this book called The Curation of Health. And I've dog-eared so many pages in this book because there's so much valuable information. And I will also leave a link to this book as well below. So when I was researching on the chapter chronic diseases, I of course skimmed through until I found diabetes, which as a type 1 diabetic, it hit close to home. So it sparked me and set me in a whirlwind of emotions, answering so many questions I've been asking myself for the last 10 years. I started to dive deeper and deeper into it and learned a few things. Now, before I get into those few things, I would just want to tell you a little bit about my background, about what I believe about diseases and chronic illnesses. And I do believe that sometimes, not all the time, that some of them are manifested from within. They are messengers teaching us lessons, things that we need to learn in this lifetime. So while that could be up for debate, and I totally respect that, it's what I've come to understand on my personal journey because diabetes has been my messenger, my teacher. So every spiritual journey is completely unique and different, obviously. So what stood out in this chapter, the two things that I really want to share with you today is that number one, like I always talk about, we are energy. The book just confirmed that. We are energy, which is why I encourage the practice of Reiki. We need to make sure our energy is flowing correctly with no stops. Second, the book suggests that diabetes is linked to issues surrounding responsibility. It also touches on the different forms of this responsibility. Some of them are like the resentment over taking responsibility for another person, children resenting the demands of their parents, expecting someone else to care for them, preventing others from taking responsibility for themselves. Oh my gosh, making excuses for someone else's poor behavior, leading to emotional energy being misdirected. I think that one pretty much sums up a lot of individuals. So all of these issues can impact the pancreas. And a lot of times we don't understand our organs and the body and how it functions. So I think we need to understand the pancreas is very important and think about it. Now think about this pancreas for a second. If the pancreas is very important just as much as your heart and any other organ, think of the pancreas as a fuel tank. It only has enough energy for you, not for everyone else, for you. So with resentment, and when that's rising up, it tells your body that your energy is being misused, just like a dis-ease, you're out of harmony, throwing off your insulin production. I think that diabetes, again, is a messenger. It's highlighting what we already know needs to be let go. But resistance, as the saying goes, what you resist will persist. It's simple nature of law, right? So as we approach the new year, I invite you all to write down the stories you're telling yourself, even if it's resentment, even if it's fear, even if it's lack. Write down those stories because we need to remove those stories. We need to protect our organs, protect our energy, so we don't manifest any new diseases into the new year. Then I want you to ask yourself how you can change those stories. And like myself, I've been battling self-worth for the longest time and I'm just done with it. Through my journey, I've learned to love myself, and now I can look in the mirror and I can finally say, I am healed within. I trust this week's episode has been beneficial for you. Thank you for tuning in. If anyone is interested in collaborating, please don't hesitate to send me a message. You can find my contact details below. And until we meet next time, remember to always stay glamorous.